All right, good afternoon, y'all. So I'm here with my boy Swift. I hope everybody's having a blessed afternoon. Today's topic we're gonna be discussing modern relationships. So I'm married. I've been married for around 2 years, going to 3 years, and Swift is also legally married. And we're both just gonna give our opinion and what we feel about the problems with current day dating culture and society as far as like what man is going through. And Swift, I'm gonna let you have the floor. Go ahead.
Okay, so um, I'm going to start with a question. Do you
Okay.
feel like, me and Merv, we're the same age, right? We're 35. Um, do you feel like it's harder to date now than it was 10 years ago?
Oh yes, yes. Way
Okay.
way harder than it was.
Okay. What are the obstacles that you feel like we're facing today that we didn't face 10 years ago?
The internet. I
Okay.
feel like with social media and entertainment being as graphic and as outspoken as it is, as far as like women acting like men, men tuning into their femininity, the violence that the entertainment industry pushes. I feel like it gives a false narrative and a false perception of one of what woman wants in men and two of what men wants in women.
Okay. Okay. Um, I was um I was telling Merv before we started the stream that I'm going to use a simple scenario. Let's say we're at Starbucks, or you, anybody's at Starbucks, you're going to go get a morning coffee, start your day at work, and you see somebody vice versa, right? It could be a man with a woman, woman to a man with a man, woman with a woman, whatever. And you were to go and approach them, they'll probably look at you crazy. Would you agree?
I think it's yeah with society, but also to each his own. I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
But you're saying to each his own. Where did they learn that's like weird or awkward? Where do you think they got that from?
So when you say approach them, like what kind of approach do you mean? Because
Like,
if
let's say
like
you go, you introduce yourself, you give them a simple genuine compliment, and you want to expand communication with the person, so you ask for, I don't know, an Instagram, a phone number, an email, whatever, to be able to keep reaching out to the person and get to know them. um would you be looked at as awkward?
I don't think that's awkward. I think that's normal.
But not
But
you, not you, not you. Do you think the other party would look at it as awkward?
I see where you're going with this. I'm thinking. Give me a second. So with society being so pulled away from, how do I word this? From like person to person contact, right? Everything is over the internet. Everything is easily accessed. You have kids growing up so in tune with gaming, and all they do is sit on the computer and masturbate. They don't even want to go out there and seek real relationship. So when you bring up something like that, that could work in your favor actually, because
Okay.
women are not used to that. The average male is so like low testosterone, they don't even have that her in them to see a woman and approach them. They'll probably, especially if it's a good looking woman, they'll probably
Hmm.
be so shy because, and when we gonna get into that, because a lot of that behavior it does lead to that. Like with men, these younger men don't have that natural her about them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
hunters. So yeah, so a
Sure.
situation like that could actually work in your positive because it wouldn't be modern day society's norm for a man just to walk up to a woman, hey, how you doing, and actually have an intelligent conversation, or to simply introduce yourself without saying something disrespectful or
Sure.
what, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Hey, you got a fat ass, hey, shot, what's up, or
Hmm.
flexing, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? So yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. I agree with all of it. I agree with all of it. The
But
one
that won't
thing that
work for
I
everyone too. So I see what you're saying.
sure, sure. I feel like also, right, the like the standard, like, what you are, right? Let's say everybody rates themselves from a 0 to a 10. Let's just
Hmm.
say if you're a 5 and you see a 10, you know that more than likely, right, you might get shut down. You might, right? It could work, but you might get shut down, right? Would you agree, or do you think that you should, like, maybe keep up with your speed?
So when you say a 5 and a 10, what do you mean?
like what when people engage, what is the first? So you don't know the person, right? You're
Hmm.
gonna so when they engage with the other party, what are they seeing that they like?
Oh, good
Like
question.
what
Because
would make somebody make an approach?
that's a great question. And you know what's crazy? I think
Okay.
the best thing to do in a scenario like that is just to do it. Don't, because when you're too much in your head, you'll block your blessing. The reason is what a man thinking a woman is important to a woman, 9 times out of 10 is not. What a woman thinks is most important to a man, 9 times out of 10 is not. You'll never see a bunch of guys gather together, have a conversation, and we're gonna be like, "Yo, did you see her nails? Yo, her nails was fire." We don't care about
Sure.
stuff like that. The stuff that
Sure.
we conversate about, like that's more important to us, submissiveness, like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, like family orientated,
but you have
God
to have
fearing. But
access. You have to have
to
access to the person to get to know.
no, no, no. I'm building up there to
Okay.
approach a woman, and if you don't think, because it all goes to self love. If you don't think you look good, you're gonna act that way. If you have
Okay.
a certain confidence about you, it don't matter if you probably really are ugly. That confidence alone, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And she might turn you down, and then because of your confidence, she'd be like, okay, and she might give you a chance. So I don't feel
Sure.
like just because of appearance, if that's what you're going to, because what remember, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. You could look at a girl and literally think she's a 10 out of 10, and somebody else could be like, she ain't all that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's perfect. But let me ask you this: how
Hmm.
come the Miss Universe pageant doesn't work that way? How come they're all beautiful? There's not one
Says
in the
who?
Miss. Huh?
And that's a broad statement. Says who though? That's society pushing that on
Well,
you.
society is the one that does the votes.
And society is made up. The media is
Sure,
controlled,
but
and that narrative is pushed.
you know if you're a 10 or if you're a 5, bro. Everybody knows their
No,
you know.
no, and that's what I'm saying. What scale are you grading that to? Because, like
Well,
I
what is
said, if
like
we're
I'm
going
saying?
by
So
society, society thinks that every woman that don't look like Kim Kardashian is ugly. That's not true.
okay,
Society pushes the standard that if you want to look beautiful, you got to look this type of way, which is completely false. That's why you have women out here
what?
surgically mutilating themselves, try to look to a
Okay,
certain
okay,
standard. So
okay.
if you're lusting and you're talking about some, okay, what I want to look, what the type of female I've seen in the entertainment industry that I'm going for,
Mhm.
then yeah, and the 9 times out of 10 she's gonna reject you because she's looking at a certain standards too. Because you have to look a certain way. That's fake. All that's fake. Nothing like that would ever be real. That's not even real attraction. All that stuff is made up. You can't really judge a woman and call that beauty if she have on layers of makeup, everything about you know what I'm saying,
Sure,
and stuff like
sure.
that. It's so it's like if you're trying to just lust and say, okay, I'm looking for a certain physical, then that's
Mhm.
different. But if you're actually talking about because a lot of females that a lot of guys think is beautiful, I don't find attractive.
Okay,
I'm kind of and physical is important, but to a certain extent. You can get a girl that's 300 pounds, that's submissive, God fearing, loving, kind, and work out with her. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Go to the gym together, and in 6 months, she'll be that standard you want to. You
Okay,
can't buy character. You can't if someone's, especially these days, when someone's older. Like I always say, people don't change. We can become
Mhm.
better versions of ourselves. So if you're trying to approach a woman that's a nasty attitude, like you know what I mean, don't have any morals, any standards, and she looks good, that relationship is going to suffer.
Sure, sure. But I'm going from beginning to end. So let's say morality that you're talking about, character, you're not gonna know that until you get to know the person, right? Would you agree?
So, correct. You're not going to get. So, you're talking about first walking up, seeing a female, going up to them.
Exactly.
And
So
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying is,
saying.
and I,
When you first see somebody, hold on one
yeah,
second. When you first see somebody, what makes you or anybody, right, make the approach?
mhm,
It's gonna everything enters through the eyes.
correct. What first is vibe, energy, because I'm all about that. Like, if I first see somebody,
Okay.
something in me is gonna say, okay, I can't even explain it. It's just that feeling, that vibe I get, and I'm like,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna
But
approach,
it
and then
enters through the
sometimes that
eyes. It
energy,
enters through the eyes.
Because I do believe in frequency. I do feel like water seeks its own level. That also comes with attraction. This I could be giving off a certain vibration, certain
Mhm.
things like that we're not gonna be able to. You ever heard some people say, like, yo, I don't know what it is about that person, but when we met, we just kicked off. Or,
Sure.
man, I don't know what it is about that person, but I just don't like them. Like I can't explain it. That's the energy, certain vibrations, certain
Okay.
demonic spirits, entities that attach to you. So and that I feel like that also goes with when you first meet somebody, like when if you first meet somebody and you approach them and they reject you, it doesn't automatically mean, hey, you know what I mean, my name is Mervin, how you doing? And she say, because I might not look a certain way, and that's cool.
Mhm.
But go ahead.
Um, so the reason I bring it up is because everything enters through the eyes at first, right?
Yeah.
You might get to know the person later and you like them even more. Perfect. That's great. Um, but where I'm going with this is like for you to even get the access,
Hmm.
right? To get to know the person, they have to find something within you that they like.
That's attractive. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't always have
Um,
to be physical though.
sure, but
Because
you're not gonna get to know the next step unless it's the initiation, something
but
physical.
you never seen a lot of what you would call beautiful women with the ugliest men. You don't think they're attracted to them?
No,
What you see is attract.
it's
No,
financial.
that's
It's
not true.
financial security.
A
It's
lot of them is
financial
not
security.
broke. So a lot of them niggas is broke. Look at it, because we talking about modern day relationship, right? A lot of
Hmm.
these women
Hmm.
and they're dating these YNs. These YNs don't got no money. They're broke. Is a certain persona they probably have, a certain, they call it aura. I guess the young people call it. But no, I don't think it has nothing. Now, money plays to a certain extent because you do have them girls, they'll use a nigga for their money and fucking the broke nigga on the side.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? I don't. I think our world, and that's why I said entertainment. If you're basing everything from the entertainment point of view, it's going to give
Hmm.
you a false perception of what women are looking for. Same
Hmm.
vice versa. You're going to think in order for me to get this girl that looks a certain type of way, you're gonna have to do compromise and stuff, compromising your values, your morals. Same with a woman. Oh, a nigga
Okay.
only want a woman that looks a certain way, so she's gonna slowly change her morals, change up who she is, that God fearing, that you know what I'm saying, and rebuke the
Okay.
Holy Spirit just to become and get that Jezebel spirit because she thinks that's what he wants. Why? Because of entertainment.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna use an example here real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And let me add this too. And the reason the society we live in is not like 10 years ago. You see a guy with a bust down watch, a chain, a car, you can be like, oh yeah, he got it. A lot of these females are dating guys that got that, and them niggas got nothing. Car was
Okay.
rented, you know what I'm saying? The chain, the
Sure.
jewelry's fake. Women don't care about stuff like that, but
No, they
yeah,
don't. They
make your
don't.
point. Yeah, make your point though. I got you.
Okay. They don't. But once again, let me ask you. I'm gonna put it to you in this perspective, right?
Mhm.
Have you seen a bunch of beautiful women with like a average looking dude?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see it vice versa? Do you see a super like un up to date right woman with a 6'5", 220 shredded man? Do you see it vice versa? Which one do you see more of?
Like what? So you asked me, do I see a woman that's in shape with a fat dude?
Let's put it that we can put it that way to to make it easier for context.
So hold on, I feel like you're trying to make a point. What are you saying?
What I'm trying to say is you won't see men really dating down for financial gains. You won't see it. Does it exist? For sure, right? There's nothing in totality in the world. There's nothing. Not 100% of the population of men are gonna. I'm not saying that, but in general,
Like
right?
when you say dating down, what do you mean?
Okay, let me put it. Let me make it more clear for you. Okay,
Mhm.
do you think if we were to be in Miami Beach and we're walking down the sidewalk in McDonald's uniforms, we just got off work, and we pass a mansion and it's Oprah Winfrey with her friends outside partying, and we're young, or we look fat. Do you think that they'll say something to get us to approach them? Do you think that would happen?
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Now, if you see a group of rich men and you see two girls that come out of McDonald's from work, but they're beautiful. Would it stop men from engaging?
No, because
No.
men don't date for money.
Exactly. So there's the point. That's the point I'm trying to get at. See the difference that men will not date for money. They will not.
No, men will. A CEO will see a woman at McDonald's or somebody that's, you know what I mean. He has good character and he sees potential in her, and he'll date her. Men never care about women money, even if they're successful or not.
Never, never.
Mm-mm.
But when I see and I hear like people will be like, oh, get the best version, make money, get yourself, and then get the woman you want. The woman, if what I'm trying to say, if you ugly, bro, you ugly. If you're ugly, you're ugly. If you get rich and then beautiful women start approaching you, you have to think to yourself, is this woman waking up and looking at me and saying, wow, I got a trophy husband? No, bro. No. Absolutely not. It's financial security, brother. It's that simple. We won't gain access to a group of women that are in that right in that tax bracket. But men that are in that tax bracket, they don't care if a woman. Why is that standard like? Why do you think it's like that?
Why do I think it's like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think it's like that because we're part of a, how do I word this now? We're part of a war that's been happening before long, before we know it. What I mean by that is, I feel like this is the devil's kingdom. This is the devil's world. Jesus literally told us. That's why he said when he came, "My kingdom is not a part of this world." Now, if you're living a part of the devil's world,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we have the Bible, instructions how to live. I
Mm-hmm.
personally feel anything outside of marriage, it's bull shit. And the reason why I
Okay.
say this, as when you look at most of the issues people have in dating, in relationships, it
Mm-hmm.
stem from like lust. You know what I mean? Lust and adultery. Like people having sex without,
Trust, right? Like cheating, a lot of trust issues.
yeah,
People
all
dating.
infidelity.
Okay.
We can just wrap it
Okay.
up and say
Perfect.
infidelity. And I feel like even people who are in the dating world, because okay, let's be real. We see,
Mm-hmm.
as a young guy, you see a girl like you were describing. 9 times out of 10, the average male is thinking about sex
Okay.
before you even approach her. The
Mm-hmm.
ultimate goal is to get in her pants. It's
Mm-hmm.
very rare you find somebody that sees a girl and say, you know what, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna take her home to my mom. Usually that comes afterwards. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, she's actually cool. Yeah, I can get to. Yeah, she cool. Let me let her meet my mom. We're all dating for the wrong reasons, men, women. So it's just like we're not dating. We're not courting to get to know somebody, and especially with this fast-paced society, I'm going to the club. I'm in a section. I'm lit. I see a girl. She in a section. She lit. I come home. I smash. Bop. She's pregnant. 3 months down the line, she called me. I don't even know this girl. Now we beefing. We
Mm-hmm.
done brought a kid into this world, and we at baby daughter, baby mama drama. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If I courted that girl and she, hey, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be doing, because when you love, it's the little things that counts. Okay, I see that my wife is getting fat. Instead of like, I'm not even attracted to her because the foundation was built on lust. I'm gonna buy her some outfits. I'm gonna play, you know what I'm saying, some music on her stomach, make her feel comfortable. I'm gonna beat her for every step of the way. Baby, when is the next doctor's appointment? The little stuff. So
Okay.
in lust, the woman is just gonna be plotting, okay, wait till this baby comes. I got this bitch ass nigga. I'm a da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Of
With
course.
marriage, y'all getting closer together. So I personally feel, to answer your question, the
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's like that is because of how it was designed to be. A lot of people, technology is raising a lot. Before it was, the technology was out like that. We used to say that in the music industry is raising our kids. It is. Now technology is. You put a technology in your kid's hand, that's like putting a loaded gun. Even if they're not listening to rap music, YouTube, the cartoons, they're all like overly sexual now. You ever look at some of these cartoon characters? Like the, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? The big boob, big butts, they know what they're doing. It
Of
starts
course.
from the kids. They're getting the kids to pollute the mind so nobody cherishes marriage. Kind of like how it was in back in the day with Jesus and the Pharisees. Women had no rights back then. Now it's the opposite. The feminine power. Women want to act like men. They're not submitting to their men. Women want to, you know what I'm saying? Women are the new men nowadays. It's a crazy dating world out here. So that's why I'm not trying to drag this out, but yeah, I feel like everything is in sin now. Everything is just like,
Okay. Okay.
it, yeah.
I want you to take something into perspective though, Mervin, and realize like that's only in America. America's only like 10% of the planet, right? Everywhere else you go in the world, the woman's gonna be submissive. It's only here.
You know what's
You'd have to
crazy?
leave. You have to leave the country to see these things, though, because everybody's gonna look at their worldview within their own eyes. It'd be like, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you come to me and you say, "Hey, Swift, there's people dying of starvation every day," and I say, "Bro, I go to Publix and there's a bunch of food. I go to Walmart, there's a bunch of food everywhere. What are you talking about? I don't see that." That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right?
That's true.
Okay, so when you say, women are like this, that's in America.
And
Anywhere
you know
else
what's
you go
crazy,
into the
bro?
world,
Nah.
anywhere else you go into the world, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't
And
work that way.
and sin is everywhere. You are right. America is, and probably America could get it because you got to also remember I'm Jamaican also, so I wasn't
Hmm.
really from here. So I can agree to a certain extent. A
Hmm.
lot of the countries that was not like that definitely are, and of course some of them are more strict than some because some of the cultures they hold
Sure.
fast to their beliefs. You know what I mean? Like a
Hmm.
lot of them Saudi Arabian countries, them Indian countries, some
Hmm.
Africans to a certain extent. They have strong morality,
Okay.
but a lot of them though are chasing the American culture. Like in
Are you
Jamaica,
saying the culture or the financial stability?
the culture, they're the entertainment, what they see on entertainment. They're
Okay.
a lot of Africans now. You go to certain places in Africa, bro, in
Hmm.
Jamaica, you can't even tell if you in America or you in Jamaica. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Because it's
Sure.
just like as time progresses, it's like, yeah, that fine line, as technology continues to get advanced, it's not
Hmm.
like that no more. You know what I mean? Social media is very influential. Most of them
It
countries that you're
is.
talking about that don't have any influence, that's the women are not like that. They're not so deep in a lot of them. How households don't even have TVs. So you're talking
Sure.
about like third world countries,
No, no,
and
no,
it's
no, no,
all,
no, no. I'll give you an example. Besides America and like Finland, Norway, Sweden, name me one place that you feel like it's going to be like that.
bro. Women are like that everywhere. It's
They're
not.
not, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. And I've lived in different
Nah.
parts of the world.
So bro. So you think this only in America that women are like this?
Let me put it to you like this. I'm going to put it to you like this. From the other places that I went to on the face of the planet, right? If you're a woman, I'm going to give an example here, okay? This is an example. And you have three previous husbands. So you've been married three times. You divorced, remarried.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take you serious. Only in America will they take you serious. Nowhere else in the world are they going to take you serious. Let me make that very clear. That's something very serious to people. Do you get what I'm saying? Here, they look at it as like you changing a pair of socks. Like, oh, I don't like him. I'm going to divorce him. I'll go get another one. You're not going to see that in other parts of the world, bro. It don't work like
Yeah,
that.
you are. Yeah, you probably don't see it as much. You probably don't.
No.
Divorce is everywhere, bro. I
It
mean,
is, but it's
it
not
is
that you're
everywhere.
gonna
You're
you're not
not
gonna
gonna.
be
It's
able to
probably not as
divorce a person.
glorified and as normalized, but it's
That's what I
everywhere.
well,
Like
that's what
even
I'm
before
getting
you
at.
call
You're
it
not gonna
America, you
uh-huh.
go to the Bible. Jezebel's like sin was everywhere, bro. And
See,
not
but it's
only
not
just
what I'm
bound to
saying. I'm
America.
not bringing this like you got to remember. Not everybody's gonna be, let's say, even a Christian, right? So I'm just talking on a relationship standpoint. If you if you're a man and you have no previous marriages, you're let's say 30 something years old, whatever, and no kids, no nothing, and you marry somebody. Okay, sorry, I got a better one. I got a better one. If you got a son and a daughter, right, and your son comes home with a woman that's been divorced two or three times, would you say anything to your son?
You're the woman that's been divorced. I mean, me personally. I mean,
Would you say anything to your son about it? If he was like, "Hey, mom, dad, I want to bring home my girlfriend," and he introduces them, and you find she's been divorced two or three times. What would you say anything to your son?
I will have a personal conversation, like, hey, I mean, but it's just like I wouldn't try to.
Okay, perfect. But what about a daughter?
Same thing, because the reason, because I know that no matter, I wouldn't. I'm not. I wouldn't do that because
But
I've
you're gonna say
known.
something.
No, of course you're gonna have that one to one. Hey, baby girl,
Exactly.
make sure you pay
Exactly.
attention. Da da
But
da da.
the
But
point is
yeah,
why. The point is why. That's the point. The point of the exercise. Why would you say something?
You said, why would I say something?
Hmm.
Because I mean, if somebody got divorced 3 to 4 times, like that's a pattern. That's why
Exactly.
wouldn't I say something? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so perfect. What I'm trying to go, like, what I'm trying to say by this is like, see how you saw that it's a pattern. It's probably not a healthy pattern. So you're gonna maybe say something to make sure they know what they're getting themselves into, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. You're only gonna find that here, though. See what I'm saying? Anywhere else you go into the world, bro, that's gonna be a mm-mm. That's gonna be a no, bro. It is what
No,
it is.
that's not true, bro. People get
It
divorced and
listen. Are you
remarried.
gonna hear me
Nobody's
out?
gonna
Hear me
gonna.
out. Hear
Now,
me
if you're
out.
talking about specific part, of
No, no,
course,
no, no, no,
everywhere
no.
is
This is what
not.
I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying.
Are you
Don't
saying
use.
anywhere else in the world?
Listen. Don't
Divorce is
use.
not outlawed in the other world.
I know, but don't use 100% of the population. I'm
No,
not. I'm not saying that it
bro.
doesn't exist in other parts of the world at all. In absolute, I'm not saying that.
But okay,
But
if
if
you're
you
saying it
grab a
like that,
hundred
bro.
people, if you grab 100 people, let me put it to you like
So
this.
hold on. So hold on. You think every single woman in America is like that though?
No, no. What did I just say? Not everything is a hundred
Because
percent
you
in
you
totality.
because you did
It's
say too only in America and the other parts of the world. That before you said that
yes.
statement,
What
that
I
was a
mean
vague
by and
statement.
only in America is what I'm talking about is like that modern,
But
the social media, the access to all this. Not everybody has internet and Wi-Fi everywhere like
But
we
you know
do in
what's
America.
crazy too, bro? And me and my wife had this conversation too. We have to be careful when we because that's what the enemy wants. That's how he wins, right? We see things because when we look up the time that everybody spends on their phone on social media,
Hmm.
it's a lot. We even got to go. It's a lot. So
Hmm.
a lot of people would look up and they'll see 2 videos of of what you're saying, and then they'd be like, "Oh, everybody's like that." Everybody is not like that. Some people don't
Sure,
have
but I
social
mean, but
media.
you can't go down. You can't go down a spreadsheet bullet point by bullet point to clarify people's. People. Let me tell you something. A lot of people play victim to the problems they create. If not everybody, you got to use common sense, bro. Like, do you honestly believe that the person saying 100% of the population of women of this country is going to be a certain way? No, bro. Clearly, it's not going to be 100%. But I'm telling you, if you put 100 people in a room and 97 raise their hand to something and three don't, bro, the three is insignificant. People don't need to focus on the three that didn't if 97 of them raised their hand.
Okay, I
You
see the
get what I'm
point you're
saying?
trying
Like,
to make,
I feel
and
like
I
we.
also feel too, Nelly.
Mhm,
Water seeks its own level. You remember why I told you one of the what the main problem I feel like is in society
mhm,
is sin, right? So if
mhm,
I'm going to the club every day and that's my
mhm,
life, I'm
mhm,
partying every day and that's my life, and I'm trying
mhm,
to date, yeah, I'm gonna run
mhm.
into those problems.
Sure, 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 absolutely.
Yeah, like hold on, somebody say I'm echoing from the chat. Let me put my headphones on 1 second.
Okay.
But nah, you can go ahead and talk, and I'm listening. I'm gonna mute my phone
Um.
while I get my headsets.
No, like I'm just saying, like I just feel like honestly, like most men, right, get the like. Okay, let me put it to you like this: who do you think is the biggest child support payer within relation, men or women? I think you're on mute, Merv.
Yo, can you hear me? Sorry, is that better?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Did you hear the question?
Nah. They told me to take my phone case off, so I just did. What was the question?
The question is, who do you think is the in relationships, right? Who's the person that pays child support, men or women?
Um, I mean, men, of course.
Okay. Who do you think
Majority,
pays
majority
alimony?
situation.
Who do you think pays
Men,
alimony? More men or women?
more men.
Okay. Um, when it comes to divorcing, who gets what, right? Who do you think ends up getting least out of the package? Men or
Yeah,
women?
I mean, men.
Okay. Now, if we were to flip flop that, we'd be the most terrible creatures on the face of the planet.
Yeah, of course. So this whole thing wasn't this. Yeah, of course.
Of course, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Um, but when they want, let's say, equality and this and that, Merv,
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sound, bro. I know, Merv. Yo,
Yeah. Can you
can you
hear
hear me?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Yeah, my bad. I was adding my
Yo,
headsets
yo,
on and it
yo.
kept kicking me off the stage. My bad.
No, it's fine. That's all good. Um, what was the last that you heard?
What the hell is going on?
Merv,
Yeah.
what was the last thing you heard?
Um, I was messing with my headsets and I placed you on hold. What were you saying? No, go back to your point. My bad.
Okay, so the point is, and where I'm trying to get with this is, you know, a lot of us, we're so, okay, how can I put this? We're the ones getting kind of like the worst
Yeah,
position.
you were asking me like men alimony, who pays the most child support, who pays alimony, and
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Okay, now I'm back to speed. Okay, so, but then you see all this equality and, we're equal, blah, blah, blah. But if we were to flip the papers, like I said, we'd be the most horrific creatures on the face of the planet. Would you agree?
yeah,
Would you agree?
yeah. When you say flip the creed, like we demand all that from women.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I see when I see these patterns, I notice that it's like everybody, no matter what, they're always going to be on board with what's convenient for them. Would you agree?
Like, what do you mean?
Like if it works in their favor, then yeah, I agree. But if it's going to be an obstacle within your life, now I disagree.
Okay.
Do you get where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So I'm just like the reason I'm bringing all this stuff now is like I feel like people now, men now, they're afraid to get into relationships because you kind of get the worst end of the deal if it all falls apart
So you're saying you feel like men is scared to get married because of that?
because they end up getting the worst part of the deal when at the end of the day. And back in the day, people didn't notice these things, or it wasn't right. The internet wasn't as broad for you to get this access. And hey, Merv, Louis on stage. Can you bring him up?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yo, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool,
All
cool.
right,
Nah,
so Nelson,
like the topic.
Yes.
I don't know. I slightly disagree on that because
Hmm.
if you're scared about the because your point was alimony. You said men are scared to get in relationships because you feel like we get the worst end of the stick.
Yeah. Well, in the circumstances, not just alimony. I'm just saying in general. In general, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. These sports athletes, when they divorce, who comes out victorious here?
To be honest,
Uh,
bro, those are to each his own because like realistically, man, if you're like you use athlete, right?
Hmm.
So I'm gonna use that as an example.
Okay.
That's just them niggas. If you're an
Okay.
athlete,
Perfect.
you have
Let's say
access to
okay. Let's say
hold
you're a
on, let me just
soccer.
finish it. Let me just finish this.
Okay.
Wait, okay, and let me put it this way.
Okay.
Any situation you're in where where you have a little bit of money,
Okay.
there's ways around that, bro. You can literally create a trust. You can create a there's ways to protect yourself to where your spouse can't get nothing.
Okay.
Literally, I don't know if you've seen the interview with Sauce Walker's baby mom. She was like, he showed me his bank account. He only had $4,000 in his account. He has a trust and probably like stuff. Well, how you think these billionaires that own these companies, when you sue them, they stay rich? You're not really suing them. They have assets and stuff, all the assets protected under a trust, under this LLC, where
Okay.
you can't touch them. So, yeah, there's ways to. If you're a multimillionaire and that's your reason for not getting married, there's ways around that. All you got to do
Sure.
is hire
Sure.
a financial advisor, literally, and
All
they'll.
right,
Okay.
all right.
Okay. But the thing is
Mhm.
this, Merv. The thing is this, Merv. Does it work the other way? When do
And
we
it
see?
does work the other way
Hold
because if
on.
I'm
Hold
with
on.
my
Hold
wife
on.
and we
Hold on.
get
Hold on. One
divorced,
second.
I
One
can put
second.
her
Let me
on
land.
child
Let me
support.
land. Let me land this. Let me land this.
Yeah,
Give me on the top of your head. Don't Google nothing. Right? Any famous woman that's with an average Joe.
Britney Spears, he pays her. He pays her dude $40,000 a month.
No, you didn't listen to the question.
He didn't. He
That's
just
with
he
an
went.
average Joe. That nigga was a nobody. She made him famous. If I'm with Mariah Carey, by morning I'm not gonna be an average Joe no more.
What I'm
But am
trying
I
to say
still
is.
average because I'm not famous?
What I'm trying to say is. These famous women, do they get with men that are not famous regularly?
No. And why
They
is
do
that
not.
though? Because business wise, it's not because of love. First of all, I personally feel like when you're in that limelight, all that stuff is fake. We can't
Okay,
really judge
perfect.
no relationship because some of that stuff is PR, that stuff is marketed. It would not beneficial a 100 millionaire to date a 9 to 5. Why? Because you can get extorted. It's just not realistic. Water seeks
Okay,
its own. Hold on, hold
okay,
on.
no,
Water seeks its own level. So it's
for
just like
sure. But why
it's
do you
very.
see a lot of men? Why do you see a lot of men with women that are average Joes?
And look at the problems they're having though. Not
But
all of them, of
rega-
course, but the
not
famous
all of
ones.
them. Not
You
all
you
of them.
you bring up a girl. We're going by modern day. So you bring up a girl that's a nobody. Before you know it, now she's an OnlyFans star and she's dating this other rapper. You didn't put her in the
Before all
limelight.
that. But before
Okay.
all of that, what woman's gonna bring a man and put him in on the money team? It's gonna be rare.
I
Does it
mean,
happen?
Nicki Minaj husband was a random
That's what I'm
nigga.
saying. Okay, but look what you're using. You're using these
You
like
asked me celebrity though.
I
That's
did, but I'm
I'm
saying let's.
pretty sure that exists a lot. There's niggas that come up. Look at that dude that dated the Casablanca, the
Okay, okay, but
King
Griselda
Cocaine
Blanco.
lady.
Mervin, use
Huh?
the global standard by a census that's been made. Okay, are there exceptions to the rule? Of course, but is this the norm? That's what I'm trying to say.
And I guess that's where we this I trust me, Nelson. I agree, but I also because I can't accept that hip hop is the global norm. It's not.
But
It is
I'm
not.
not
It's some
using the
people's
global.
reality if that's all they consume. But the world is bigger than that. Like
It is.
not
Yeah,
It is.
everybody is
yeah, yeah.
on that.
But
Look, can I
listen.
chime in real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
So look, this is what I want to say. Like Nelson, I mean, my bad. I apologize. Swift, I see where you're coming from, but see that I think the issue is you're categorizing women as all the same. That there's different
No. We
women
went over that.
that
We
won't. Okay.
we
Because
went
they're
over
not.
that. We went
Well,
over
what
that.
I wanted to say is not all women is like that. I mean, yeah, a lot of them will put you in child support. That might just be their sole plan to get with you, have your
Sure,
child,
sure.
and but they're not all like that. It's just that those type of women that aren't like that may not be the type of woman that you like. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Ah.
don't know, but most men, I don't. Man, I'm gonna speak for myself, man. At a point, man, I just loved whores. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Okay.
wanted a wife a whore. You know what I mean? Because they're fun. You know what I mean? You get
Sure.
to experience shit. You know what I mean? But I knew in the back of my head that I'll never marry this girl. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
And then you might have your Christian girl over there. You know what I mean? She does everything right. Pay tithes and offering, go to church or whatever. But that may not be necessarily who you want to be with. But that might be the wife for you that won't take you to court and will love you through well and bad. You know what I mean?
Well,
Okay.
well spoken, Louis. Well spoken. And it
That's
goes
all I
back to
want
what
to
I
say.
said too, Nelly. When I said put yourself in certain environments, water seeks its own level. Louis just kind of went more in detail on what I'm saying. If you approach that girl that looks like an OnlyFans model and she turned you down because you don't look like a bag, but you ignore the girl on the sidewalk that's in Walmart clothing, that's
Mhm.
your fault.
Okay.
And if you say, man, all these bitches are like that, that's
Mhm.
your perception. That's your reality.
But
Doesn't
see,
mean
hold
that
on,
is,
hold on,
you know what
hold
I
on.
mean?
Let's not because people will take this the wrong way, right? Once again, nothing in the world is in 100% totality but death. Okay.
Hmm.
When I'm speaking here, I'm speaking in majority, right? Are there exceptions to the rule? Absolutely.
But you can't say majority of the women is like that because
Well then,
honestly, that's
okay,
not my
okay. Listen,
perception,
listen, listen. If I'm saying this, let's Google it.
bro. Okay, so what
Let's
I'm saying
Google
is
it.
right. If you have a certain, if your perception is okay, if you're going
Let's
to the
Google it. Let's
club
Google it.
and you're just looking for a girl to fuck, you
No, no,
that's
no, no,
all
no,
you're
no, no,
probably
no, no, no,
gonna.
no,
No, no,
no,
no,
no,
bro.
no.
We don't gotta Google. Google don't know the woman
Okay,
and their
but
thoughts. Google's gonna know what
let me tell
somebody
you
put
this.
on there. We can't. What we
That's
googling?
perfect. That's perfect. But then how are we gonna bring some receipts to the people watching? How can we prove that? Because you can't just tell everybody. It's everybody's own worldview.
Okay, no, 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 no. Let me break that down. Let me break what I just said down. And I'm gonna go back to that point Louis made. If I'm living in sin, right? Well, how am I living in sin? I'm fucking hoes. I'm going to fucking this bitch. I got this side piece. I'm going to the club.
Mhm.
That, bro, nothing good is gonna come out of that. The Jezebels, that's all I'm gonna get. Because what you're describing is a Jezebel. If I'm approach a girl,
No, bro.
hear me out. Hear me out.
But I'm
If
not
I'm
talking
approach a
about
girl,
Jezebels. I'm not talking about Jezebels, bro.
so that's exactly what that is, though. Because no
No,
woman with the
like
Holy
what I'm
Spirit is
trying to
gonna
say
retract
is
you because you're not a nigga
listen,
with a bag.
Mervin.
So
Let
hold on,
me.
hold on, no. What is a Jezebel? Because that's exactly
Bro.
what you're
It's
describing.
witchcraft. It's a witch. It's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft, and also when people say she has
It's
that
a horse
Jezebel
spirit.
spirit, what are they talking about?
Horse spirit.
Whores, whore spirit.
Mhm.
That lust, the OnlyFans bitch, that's that whore spirit. The bitch that you're describing that would turn you down because you don't have a bag, that's the Jezebel spirit. That's 100% what that is. Look it
Okay.
up.
Okay. What I'm saying though, that's what I meant by America. In America, they want that bag.
Yeah,
Let me
that's what's
explain
promoted.
something to you, Mervin. Let me
That's what's
explain something.
promoted. Yes.
Let me explain something to you, Mervin. I'm Puerto Rican, right? In Puerto Rico, you go to a Walmart, you're gonna see bad bitches. You go
And
to
that's the okay,
CVS.
okay, 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 okay. No, no, no,
Let
no.
me land. Let me land.
All right, land.
You go to CVS, you go to Walgreens, you're gonna see bad bitches. Here, they see Rihanna and they're like, "Oh my god, bro!" You go to Puerto Rico to Walmart, you're gonna see 10 of them, 10 Rihannas walking around. Here, that's a wow. Over there, that's a plain Jane. That's what I'm trying to get at. Do you get what
And
I'm
you're
saying?
describing, you notice what you described, all right, is all Jezebel. And what
Okay, that's fine. It
and
can
then,
be a
and then you break
Jezebel.
and
It
when you
cannot be a
break that
Jezebel.
down, because
Mervin.
trust me, no, no, hear me out. Old Murph probably would walk in that same Puerto Rico and be lusting, mouth tongue out like a dog. The
Mhm,
new Murph, I'm
mhm.
gonna walk and look at the ground. I'm not even gonna look. And even if I do look at it, that same shit that used to tinkle in me won't, because that's just not in me anymore. So that's why I say this to each his own. Like whatever your reality, whatever your perception is gonna be your reality. If you're looking for that, you're
See,
gonna
but
have
I
to
don't
be
promote that.
prepared to what comes. No, no, no,
I
no, no,
don't
no. I'm not
promote
saying
that.
you. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm just talking in vague. Like if a person is looking for that, that
Mhm.
is what's gonna come with that. If you're saying, okay, I need that fat ass, big
No,
titties,
but
long
Mervin, see, it's
hair,
not that, bro.
because
Like you gotta
that's
understand, in
isn't
other
that the
places,
modern definition of a bad bitch though?
no, no,
What
no,
is the?
no. See, in
Well, hold
America,
on. Let's get that clear though. Let's get that clear because we're
okay,
talking about modern relationships. What's the
okay.
modern young nigga definition of a bad bitch?
A bitch that's on Snapchat that's filtered up.
What's your definition, Louis? You think not your definition, but what you think the majority young men's definition of a bad woman is or a bad female is? Bad
I
bitch
mean,
quote.
honestly, the bad bitch, that's just, to me, is just a Jezebel, like me being in the secular hip hop world, I see a bad bitch, like I know that she probably not into me for me. She's into
No,
me
no,
for
no,
what
not a
I
bad.
have
Well, I'm saying, what do you think the definition of it?
of a
What?
bad
Fat
bitch.
ass, long hair,
Oh
all
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah,
shit,
yeah. Fat ass,
makeup
big titties,
done. Here,
slim waist, yeah,
you know what I'm
hair
saying?
done,
Yeah.
long eyelashes, long nails, that's
So
what I mean.
okay, and like you were saying, right? You're a little experienced now. The old Louis will see that and be like, all of us. You know what I mean? We used to see that and be like, yo, I gotta probably be like this to get the girl like that. But after experience, You know
Yeah,
that comes with, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You
I'm
know that's
tired of
one,
bro.
that's not how
Like
she looks when she wake up. All that
it,
shit is fake.
it don't
You know
even
what I'm
move.
saying?
It don't if that's what you're. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where I'm
It
at.
don't move you no more because you're not even, you know what I mean? They say taste buds change. It's the same for physical attraction. What you were attracted to at 16 is not going to be the same thing you're attracted to if you matured the right way at 30, right? Y'all think, y'all agree?
No,
So to go with Nelson's, you said no?
no, I don't agree.
So you think if the same female you're attracted to at 16, you think you're going to still have the same attraction for her at
I'm
age
gonna tell you
30?
something. I'm gonna tell you like this: when you're 16, right? What do you have to offer?
What
Nothing.
do you mean? What else?
N-
Nobody has nothing to offer at
exactly,
16. We're still
exactly. Okay,
growing.
exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
When you're 16 and you got nothing, and a girl likes you, she likes you because you got nothing to offer. So she likes you.
No, she don't even know me.
Eh,
Women are
Merv,
even worse, bro. A
hear me out. When
16-year-old girl is worse than a
when,
16-year-old
hear
male
me
as
out.
far as
Hear me out.
emotions,
Hear me out.
puberty.
Hear me out. When you're in high school,
Yeah,
you got nothing, right? You got nothing.
of course.
Okay, the girl also has nothing, right?
Yeah,
Y'all are in school, y'all students.
yeah.
But if y'all like each other, y'all genuinely like each other. There's
That's
no
not
opportunity.
true. No, no,
Okay,
that's
what
not
can
true.
you offer? What
Yeah.
can you
Now
offer? What can you
Bro,
offer then, Merv?
okay, and I'm talking from a guy that has a 16-year-old daughter.
Mhm.
They don't think the same way we do. When that brain grows big, not every we don't
Yeah, but
even
I'm
think
not
about
saying when
money.
it
No, no,
grows
no, hear me out, hear
big.
me out, hear me
When
out,
they're
hear
at
me out.
16,
When
what
you're
do they
hold on,
like?
hold on, let me, like you said, let me cook, right? When you're 16, you're feeling yourself. You're just getting a body for the first time. If you a male, you gaining a little bit of muscle. Whether you have waves, you stay with the brush. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You're not thinking about nowadays is different, but I'm talking about as far as like the modern, like when we was raised, he wasn't really thinking about bread. A 16-year-old is not gonna be dating a nigga thinking a nigga about to pay her bills. She don't got
That's
no
what I'm
bills.
saying,
Hold
though.
on. She don't
what
got no
Nelson
bills.
what
Why
Nelson
is
saying
she
is like
dating this nigga? Because she wants to one, either fit in. She don't really like this man. She don't really know him. She's lusting. It's all lust. What does that guy want from her?
Mervin, so you're
Hear me
telling
out,
me a
bro. Hear me
classmate.
out.
Hold
Hear me
on,
out. Hear
hold
me out.
on. But the thing is, you're saying a lot. You're
Okay,
saying a
okay.
lot.
Because
So it's like
I'm telling you
to
from
go
my
back, but the
experience
thing
though.
is to go back and then to go
Bro,
back
at
and then
16,
go
okay,
down your
let me
bullet
wrap it
point.
up with saying this.
Okay.
Let me shorten it. A 16-year-old is not dating a guy because she really likes him. She's dating a guy because she's experiencing her, she's learning herself. She don't really know
Okay. Okay.
herself. She's probably liking him because one, majority of her friends like him, or two, this guy probably complimented her and make her feel some way. Or and a lot of these
Fine.
16-year-old guys are just about sex. So when you're
Okay.
talking about what
But
to
what are you
offer,
offering?
what do year what are you offering? A
In other
16-year-old
words,
is not
Mervin,
looking
when
for
you're
a nigga to pay their bills, Nelson.
Mervin,
They don't
here,
have any
stop,
bills.
stop,
That
here.
same 16-year-old
Hold
is going to be
on,
that
hold on.
Jezebel if she continues to live in lust.
Mervin, you gotta
Oh,
listen. You
okay, go ahead.
gotta hyper focus right now. You gotta hyper focus.
I'm answering your question. You
No,
asked
no, no,
you're
you're not
saying a
because you're like
16-year-old
at 16, they're just lusting, they're just this. What I'm trying to
Nelson,
say is,
Nelson.
hear me out, hear me out. If you're 30 years old, you're more than likely you're working, you might have a car, you might have a house, whatever. What I'm saying is you have something to show. When you're 16, you got nothing. So if the girl likes you, she likes you because you don't
That's
have a
not
car.
true. That's not
Okay,
true.
not in. Hear me
That's
out.
not true, bro. I have a 16-year-old, and I'm telling you
Okay,
from ex.
okay,
I'm not. I don't
okay,
have. This
perfect,
is one of them things I don't have to guess.
perfect, perfect.
It's not true. A
Okay.
16-year-old liking you.
Mhm.
You're talking about money, Nelson. You're talking
No, I'm
about
not. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying
okay, Nelson. You
if
do
you're in
know
high
that.
school
Okay,
and you don't got nothing, and the person likes you, they like. Oh, listen, me and you were in high school together. Were we not in a classroom with a person of the opposite sex for a year?
yeah, and
Every
half of the
day,
people that
every
half
day.
of the girls that I liked in ninth grade is not the
No, no,
same
no.
one I
And I'm
liked the
not. But
second
we're
and
not
10th.
using your personal spectrum. Not just you.
So
I'm saying the person that you saw every day for a year. Okay, you don't think you get to know them,
no, how do you get to know somebody in high school?
Mervin? Because
Break
you
down
see
the
them
no no
every
no break
day.
down the time. Hold on, break down the time of periods. When
Every
you go
day
from
seeing them.
class to class, right? How many
No,
times is
every
that?
day you see
When you
them.
go from class to class, how long is that? 5 minutes
Mervin,
before.
Mervin,
Hear me
Mervin.
out. Hear me.
Hold
Listen. Let
on.
me
No,
talk.
no,
Hear me
no,
out.
no, 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 no. Because
When
I
you
didn't get
go
to say
from
anything.
class to,
I didn't
it's
get to say anything.
impossible for you to know somebody in high school, bro.
Mervin.
Half of the females I dated, I don't even know their last name. I didn't
Okay,
even know their
perfect.
parents'
Let
name
me
or
ask
their
you this:
cousin.
Do you know
Dude, come
somebody?
on.
do you know somebody that you went to school with all your life, or do you know somebody you met at the club last week more?
To be honest, probably somebody I met at the club last week more.
Mervin, please.
Because
That's
I'm.
illogical. That's illogical.
How is that illogical?
How do
Okay.
you know somebody that you met at the club last week versus somebody that you went to school from 9th grade to 12th grade that were in your classes every year?
How do you know that person? So how do you know that person? I'm
Mervin, I know
asking
your
you.
last name. You're Mervin Bronco.
Okay, you know me better because why? Answer
We
that.
went
You
to
didn't
school
know me
together.
through school.
We
You
went to
didn't know
school
me.
together.
No, before we went to school, you know me in the neighborhood. Correction.
But I know you.
No, you did not know me
I
from
saw you
school.
every
You did not
day.
know me from going to school. You know
Okay,
me
let me
because
ask you this. Let me
you
ask
keep.
you
Hold
this.
on, hold on. Let me make my point because we keep talking over each other.
Okay.
To answer your question, we
Mhm.
know each other closest how we know each other is not
Mhm.
because we went to school together. It's because we spend more time
And what do
outside
you
of
do at
school.
school?
After the bus. You don't spend time, Nelson. You go to school, you're on literally a time. How long do you have to change periods? 5 minutes. If you talk in class majority of the time, you get in trouble. Okay, let me walk with this girl between that 5 minutes, try the cake real quick and get to my next class. When you really sum up 7 periods and 5 minutes in between, how do you know somebody? Half of the girls I've dated, half of the girls I've
because
talked to in high school.
Mervin, you're
Okay,
using
half of the girls you talked to in high school, did you know their
Okay,
mom's
bro,
name or
you
last
gotta
name?
land. You gotta land. You gotta
I'm
land. Because,
landing.
no. Because for real, you're dominating the conversation.
Okay.
You're dominating the conversation. Nobody is as soon as somebody gets a sentence in, you're like, but let me say, and then you go on a streak there. You know, it's hard to follow back because you say a lot.
All right, go ahead.
You're going on a bunch of topics here, so it's like it's hard to fall back and start from.
So you're okay. Your topic was a 16-year-old likes you for you, and I was saying that is not
The
true.
analogy, because it's an analogy I'm using. I'm using the analogy in the sense of when you go to school with somebody, whether it be school, whether it be a swim team, a basketball team, if you see somebody every day for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you get to know them, bro.
How do you? When you say you get to know them, what do you mean?
Mervin, we don't need to. If we have to see what I'm saying, we're talking simple things. And we
No,
can
and I
have an
am talking simple.
understanding.
So you think
You
you knew
know
all the
what
girls that
knowing
you went to
somebody
school with?
is, bro. You
So
can ask
hold on.
you can
I'm
ask a
asking you. You went
10-year-old.
to
You
school,
can ask a
right?
10-year-old. How do
Nelson.
you know somebody?
Nelson.
This is something easy to conceive.
Okay. And I'm asking you. So you're telling me you know everything about all the girls you went to
No,
school
see
with?
what I'm saying? But look how you jumped from something to
I'm
an
like, I'm
extreme.
asking you the same question you're
No,
asking
you're
me.
not gonna know everything, bro.
That's what I'm saying. When you mean know somebody, what do you mean? Because I'm
Bro,
telling you,
I'll give you
none of the girls at
the
school knew
basics.
nothing
I'll
about
give you
me.
the basics. I'll give you the
The
basics.
basics, yeah.
How old they are, first name, last name,
So
and
that's knowing somebody.
I'm
You
giving
can
you
Google that
what
about
see what
somebody.
I'm saying? Okay, let me put it like this, Mervin. Do you think I'm gonna go down the entire spreadsheet?
When you say getting to know somebody,
Not getting to
that's
know
not a
somebody.
vague
Let me
statement.
ask you this. I'll put it to you better. I'll make it to you better, bro. Me and you, we had like 3 classes together. Do you remember?
No,
You don't remember?
I remember we had a class with Corey, and I think it was hell. That's the only class I can
No, bro.
remember.
We had language arts. You remember when
No, I didn't see it.
I
That's what
saw
I
your
didn't remember.
mom?
Okay,
She
yeah,
opened
okay.
up
And
your
I only
legs
remember that
and
because I got my
saw
ass
you.
whooped from my
You
mom for
remember
that.
that?
Yeah, I remember that. I
That's
remember
it.
that.
See what I'm saying? So like,
But that's not how I knew you, Nelson. So you think that's how we knew each
hold
other?
on. See Mervin. See what I'm saying? As soon as somebody says a sentence, you ramble. I'm trying to still get the point across.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
You got the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. See how you didn't even remember that? You were like, I only remember us in health, and then I brought this scenario up, and now you're like, oh yeah. What I'm trying to say is, you forgot that. I
Because I
get it.
just proved your point. Yeah,
Okay.
that means it wasn't important. I just, well, go
Okay.
ahead. Land, go ahead.
It doesn't mean what I'm trying to say is you know somebody in this. Listen, knowing somebody. I even asked you earlier. Do you think knowing somebody for 4 years, from 9th to 12th, you know them more than somebody that you met at the nightclub last week? You were like, I think you know more the person you
I
met at the
answered you.
nightclub.
You cut me off. You didn't even let me give me a chance to land that.
Okay,
But yeah,
Mervin. What
go
I'm
ahead.
saying is every person that you met, or girl, whatever, that you met a week later, did you know their last name? Let's start with the basics. Did you know their last name?
You said every girl that I've met?
That you dated.
Yes.
Week 1?
That I dated outside of high school? Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So
I
you
know
met a
their
girl,
parents' name and I know their
hold on.
last name. Of
You met a
course.
girl, let's say last weekend. By this weekend, you knew their last name.
No, that's not how that go. If you, I mean, it
Exactly.
all depends. If you meet her, so what is your
Exactly.
point?
So my
But I'm gonna
point
be able to
is,
spend more time with her and get to know her better than if I was
sure,
just
but
going to
you already
periods.
spent 4 years knowing somebody. There's no way
No, you
that
don't
you
spend 4 years knowing somebody. Who? No, you telling me if I go to class with a girl and she's in, we have the same classes for 4 years. That mean after the 4 years I'm gonna know her?
Mervin, I would say after the first year, you know him.
How? Okay, if you say
Mervin,
know him,
it's
okay, no, no,
common
no, no.
sense.
Let's.
It's
I guess
common
no, no, no,
sense.
no, no. Let's slow it down. When you say knowing somebody, I think our definition is different. Because when you say
I'm
knowing
using the
somebody,
one from the
hold on,
dictionary.
no, 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 no. When you say knowing somebody, right? I know my neighbor name is John Doe. Why?
Okay.
Because hey, John, hey, what's your name? 7 years
Okay.
ago, we greeted each other.
Okay.
That's John Doe. What the hell do I can tell you of John? I can't tell you his favorite color. I can't tell you what his dad's name, his brother name. I can tell you what car his mom drive. Do I really know John Doe? No, I don't. Now you describe me and you. We know each other not because of Grayson High School. Now we shared that like we both went to Grayson, but I didn't. We didn't meet each other at Grayson, and we didn't get to know each other at Grayson. It was way more shit happening in the Glen that's the way I felt like we got to know each other. You wouldn't agree? Because even before I started and I met Louis, he introduced me to all y'all. I didn't even start school till later that summer when I first moved here. I moved here in March. Well, I didn't start back school till like August. And that's when I met all y'all, got to know y'all. So when we was on the bus, we were already familiar. And from hanging around the same groups, mostly outside of school, doing, you know what I'm saying, what we used to do. Yeah, that's kind of how we created that bond. It was not from, oh, I went to school with this nigga, so we just close.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Damn, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, damn, it went away. 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, Nelly, say something.
Yeah, you hear me? Merv.
Damn, it went blank. I can't hear. I can't hear nothing. Can you hear me? 1 second. Let me
Perfect.
try again. Man. You,
Yo,
Steve said we can hear you, but I can't hear nothing.
I hear you perfectly.
All right, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, better. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. What I'm trying to say by all of this is regardless of what, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be in a classroom, whether it be at a job, you get to know somebody spending time with somebody, whether it be in a classroom or not. Mervin, you know, most people, where do you think they find their relationships at? You know, it's either a job or school.
And most people when they find a relationship and they build, you hear the word high school sweetheart, is
Mhm.
because they spend time outside of school. You
Well,
can't really
listen,
get to know
that's part
somebody
of
in
it
high
too.
school.
That's Mervin. That's part of it too. It's all, listen, two things can be true at the same time.
Okay, I
Outside,
mean that works for certain things, but
yeah, well,
when you say,
outside of
hey, can
school,
you
just
get to
like
know
in
somebody
school,
in
bro.
school
Like,
just from going to classes with them? Because now you're basically saying my point now, because you just said may spend time. Correct,
huh?
time. You're talking about if I just
Yeah,
go to
but
class
school
with
is
you for four
time,
years,
Mervin.
but you're not spending time in school,
You
Nelson.
are.
Break the
You're
time
hearing them
down.
speak. Listen,
Nelson. Break the. Oh
when
my
you went
God.
to school, how many parties did you get invited to?
None.
Okay, well, that's you. I went to a bunch, right?
So
Why
that
did they
means you
invite?
know the persons because you go to a
Hold on.
party.
Why did they invite me? I don't know them.
Not
I'm using
because
your
they knew
logic.
you,
I'm
probably
using
because they
your
thought
logic
you
though.
was
You don't know
cool.
nobody in school.
Okay, when you say you know somebody, what it is to get to know somebody. Like when you say you know somebody, because if you're saying that means anybody, that means I know all my coworkers. I know their name. I
Okay.
know that, hey, Wendy,
You
you
see them
like
every
pizza.
day. You see them
That
every day.
doesn't mean you know them.
Do
How
you
does
see
that
them
mean you
every
know them
day?
because you see
Well,
somebody
I'm
every
going
day?
down the spreadsheet. Listen, I'm going down the spreadsheet. Look,
Okay.
this is my
You
first
see them
bullet
every
point.
day. Go ahead.
Okay. You see them every day
Hmm.
at work. You see that person every day.
Yeah.
You work from home. How
Before
you see
that, it
somebody
was
every
in the
day?
office. What do you mean?
Okay.
Come on now.
Now, but when you were working from home, who are you seeing?
You still have to communicate. I still do
That's
meetings.
not what I'm asking though. Who are you seeing?
I just started working from home, so let's cut to before that.
Okay,
To go on
before
with your
that.
point, you working every day, you see them every day. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so knowing somebody, I would start with right knowing their first last name. You know, their how old they are. I at least when I went to school, I knew people that played basketball. People that how did I know that? Because
Nelson,
I
what's
know
my
them.
mom's name?
Mervin, that's completely
What's my
different.
mom's name?
Did your mom go to school with us?
What's mom? You just said if you go to school with somebody, you know them.
Yeah, did
You
I go
never
to
ever
school with your
talk about the
mama?
parents. You said me.
No, I didn't say
Whose
you.
mom
I'm
is it?
saying if
Whose
you
mom
if
is it? Mine, right? How you gonna say
yeah,
you know me but you don't know my mom's name?
because I'm not asking if I know your mom.
So how do you know the person? Listen what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I think we have two different definition. Like
So Mervin, let me ask you, who do you know?
I know you. I know Lincoln.
What's my mom's name?
Okay, and I ain't gonna lie. I don't know your mom's name.
Exact, but you say you know me, right?
Okay, I know Lincoln.
Okay.
And okay, even better statement. I could comfortably saying, if you knock on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will let you in, no question.
Okay.
Why? Because I feel like I know you enough. You're right. I've known you for almost like 20 some years, and I don't know your mom's name. Shame
Mhm.
on me. But I know you enough to be able to let you in my house, right?
Sure. But that's a
Okay,
different
why though?
circumstance.
Why though? Because I feel like I actually know you. If you were just a nigga from Grayson, nigga, what you doing on my door? Okay, what's good, Corjay? Doesn't mean that I fucking know you because I know
But
your name.
okay, but see,
No.
no, but I'm not saying everybody you went to school with, you know. What I'm saying is the people, you know, when you go into school
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the same grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna if you don't move or you don't do anything, y'all probably stay in the same uh uh classes until you get to high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in high school, then you start going to different classes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you grew up with that person. You did.
We
You
go to
grew up
school.
with
We
them. You
went to
saw them from
school
elementary
together.
school. Let's say you saw them from elementary school until 8th grade. You went years seeing the same person.
So does that mean you know the person because you went years seeing them?
I mean, to some degree, absolutely. It's
How do
not
you
like
know?
seeing.
So when you say you know that person, right?
Mhm.
When you say you know their name, of course, because if you
Sure,
spend time, of course you're gonna know their name. Of course you're
sure.
gonna know their age, because 9 times out of 10, if y'all in the same class, y'all have similar
Same age.
age.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. When you say get to know somebody,
Hmm.
meaning I know you. Hey, your mom name is Sylvia Wright.
Hmm.
You grew up in Jamaica. Your favorite food is da 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 da.
Okay.
A lot of people don't even know themselves in high school. Meaning we're still growing. We're still knowing what we like. We're hanging around different groups. Maybe this group bullied me. We're still learning ourselves. That's why motherfuckers go shoot up schools.
Okay.
I
But
don't.
that
When you
doesn't
say
negate.
know
That doesn't
somebody,
negate.
when you say know somebody, I
Uh-huh.
think you're just talking about knowing their name. And if that's the case, nigga, we
Well,
know
Mervin,
everybody.
Mervin, you know, after a couple years, you know more than just you know if they play if they're on the basketball team, they're on the
Doesn't mean
football
you
team.
know them. Do you know if they're going home getting abused? Do you know if that
Yeah,
girl
but
you think is
Mervin,
fine
like,
going
come
home getting
on, brother.
raped?
That means
No,
nobody
it's
knows
not. Come on,
anything.
that's how you know
You don't know
somebody.
anybody.
So if you're gonna marry somebody, you're just gonna marry them because hey, you know what? We've been working in the same office for 2 years, and I know you like this. Let's get married.
Well, I'll tell you
Or do
one
you
thing.
spend
I'll tell you one
time?
thing. I'll tell you one thing. It's better to marry that person than a random.
That person is random, Nelson. You don't know
No,
what the
it's not
person
as
come home
okay.
and do.
What's more
You don't
random? That
like
person.
why you
Hold
think
on. What's
fetishes
more random?
exist?
Do you think
Huh?
what's more random? That person or person that you met at the mall last week? Who's
So
more
I
random?
never worked with my wife, and
I'm not
wait
saying
how
that.
we.
I'm
Cause
not
that
saying
what are you
that.
talking about? Cause that means my wife is random. That means somebody I've been
Mervin,
working
that's what I'm
for.
saying. You gotta hyper focus, bro.
Bro, I'm answering your question. You
No,
just
you're
said
not.
what's
What
more
was the
random, the
question? What
person
was the
I've been.
question?
What's more random, the person I've been working with than somebody I just met at the mall? Isn't
Hmm.
that not your question?
No, the person that you've been seeing for years
Yeah.
versus
So I've
somebody
been
you met
working
last
with
week.
here. I can name you 6, 7, 8 women I've been working with 6 years prior to my meet my wife. I've seen these people every day because I only
Hmm.
started going to work in at home when COVID came, right?
Hmm.
So these women I've been going to work with for 6, 7 years, and they're
Hmm.
single. Why
Hmm.
haven't I married them? And why did I just meet
Because
my
you're
wife? With
married.
no, I wasn't married then.
Okay, but do
Listen,
you
that's
know
what I'm
them?
saying. Listen,
Yeah, but I'm not saying because you
with
know them,
your
marry them.
definition though, you say I know them, right? I know them.
Yeah,
Your
but because you
definition, we
know
work
them,
together.
because I know my neighbor, I'm not gonna go marry him.
You don't know your neighbor. You know what your
I know
neighbor
my
do when he
neighbor.
closed that door? You know your neighbor's name.
No, I know my neighbor.
Okay.
I know my neighbor. Absolutely. They've lived there for 20 years.
You know of the person. I think that's just a vague definition. When you say you know somebody, you wouldn't let any nigga from Grayson that you, even
But
if y'all the
that's a
same
different
nigga.
circumstance,
How is
Mervin.
that a different? We're talking
Because
about
I'm
getting to know
telling you
somebody.
versus I'm saying a neighbor that I've known for 20 years. You're saying you don't know them, I just know their name. I tell you somebody I went to school with, I don't know them, I just know their name. So who do I know? Who do I
When
know?
you're saying you know somebody, you're talking about, oh, I know your name, I know your
Okay,
age.
so give
When
me
I
an
say you
example
know
of somebody you
somebody,
know.
I know Lincoln.
Okay.
When I say I know Lincoln, I mean I know him well enough to be I can tell you his mom's name, his dad name. Do I know everything about Lincoln?
See, but that's what I'm
Probably
saying.
not.
We go from one thing to then an extreme.
Okay, how is it extreme? You're talking
Because you're
about
saying
getting
I
to
know their
know.
names, I know their dad's names, but I don't know everything about him. Because you don't know everything about somebody doesn't mean that you don't know them.
Okay. Let me break
See
it
how
down
that's an
because no,
extreme though? Like
no, that's not an extreme because
that's a
you
huge
started
jump
it.
from
Okay,
knowing.
you forgot how we started this. See, that's what I'm saying. I kept going to the extreme because we were talking about the extreme. We're talking about a 16-year-old because we
Mhm,
got way off topic. You
mhm,
saying when a 16-year-old is dating you, they're doing it because they actually like you for you. And I said, no, that is
mhm,
incorrect. When a 16-year-old is dating you, it has the last thing probably has to do with is them actually liking you. 9 times out of 10, they're going through puberty. They're learning to like themselves. It's probably some peer pressure where you're probably the popular guy. Now, I'm
Okay.
not saying that's for every situation, but you're saying when a 16-year-old is genuinely dating or liking somebody, they like them for them because they have nothing to offer. A
Yeah.
16-year-old has no bills to pay. They are just full of emotions. So yes, if somebody's feeding that ego, giving them that attention they want, they're gonna give that dude attention. Don't you know that the same whore we're talking about that was 30 was 116? You think she just magically she's an adult and now she's a whore? No, the attention seeking behavior started when she was 16. Now, when the bills came, she's going to use
Mhm.
that same attention seeking energy to get these bills paid. It's the
Okay.
same thing.
This
It's
is
the
what I'm
same
trying to
thing.
say, Mervin. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. Look, when you're 30 years old and you're dating women, just like men, it's what do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? Nobody's gonna date a bum if they're working, have a house. Is it possible? Yes. I gotta make this clear. It's amazing that I have to say these things this
That's
way.
so. Look at me and my wife. My wife then doesn't date me because I had money. And you know what's crazy when I say that? I know a lot
Mervin,
of
but
other
don't
married
use.
couples.
That's what I keep
Okay.
saying, bro.
Listen what I'm saying.
You keep using your own perspective,
Okay,
thinking that the
I
world
was just about to say I know a
thinking.
lot of there other married couples that's have not close to being rich and that's happy. Not everybody's like that, Nate. Now, if we're gonna say the Jezebel spirits is like that, and if somebody's living in lust, that is what you're gonna attract. What you're looking for is what you're gonna get. If I go to the dealership and I say, "Yo, I want the most expensive car," and I cry that the oil change is $1,000, nigga. You know what I mean? If you looking for Jezebel and you're saying, okay, cool, she wants a nigga with money, yeah, what you think? If you go for the OnlyFans looking bitch and you mad she wants her nigga to look a certain type of way, okay, it's like that perfect
Mervin,
example Louis
Mervin,
made.
Mervin, Mervin. Let me explain something to you, bro. This is why I bring these analogies up, okay? I need people to understand that here in America, right? There's not a lot. It's not like you being in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, where there's a big selection of beautiful people versus you go to Walmart right now. You go
See,
to
and
Walmart right.
that's where I stop, and that's where I disagree because you're talking
Mervin,
pure physical.
can I land though, bro?
Go ahead.
This is where you're finding that you're like, see, that's where what I'm trying to say is, bro, there's a lot of people out here that are expecting the most, bro, and deserve nothing. Okay. There's a lot of people out here, a lot of women that'll have 4 or 5 kids, 5 different men. If I have no kids and I have no people, bro, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am the
Bro,
prize.
that sounds like some of them little podcast stuff. Be
No,
I'm the
no, 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 no,
prize,
no,
I'm
no,
the
no, no,
better.
no. It doesn't sound like
Having
it.
a bunch of kids
Bro,
doesn't mean
it's
shit. You can have a
reality,
motherfucker that
Mervin.
has no kids and a
Okay.
deadbeat. That
Let
does
me ask
not
you
make
this.
you the prize. That's bullshit.
Mervin. It go and see this. How where have you gone outside of the United States?
What do you mean? Germany, Jamaica,
Okay. And how old were you?
25,
Okay.
26.
Okay.
Nigga, I travel a lot. St.
Did you
Thomas,
live
Puerto
there? Did you
Rico,
live there? Did
Grand
you live there?
Turk. No, I ain't lived there. We
Okay,
traveled.
so you traveled. Okay,
Of course, I lived in Jamaica.
okay, perfect, perfect. What I'm trying to say is, and I sorry. What let me put it in this dynamic. Then, do you think they're the prize? If you're a man, you're 30 years old, you have no previous marriages, you got no kids, you know self sufficient. Do you think that you're not the prize? What are
That
you?
prize, okay, that prize stuff is that red pill, blue pill made up
No,
bullshit.
no, 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 no,
No,
no,
let
no,
me. You just
bro.
said
When
something.
you
Let me
get
talk.
into a
You just asked me a
relationship,
question. You just
bro.
asked me a question. Let me finish. That there is no there. That's on the prize. You the prize. That's bullshit.
Okay.
You now you can date you can have a woman that's on on her shit.
Hmm.
I don't feel like none of that materialistic stuff make you the prize. If you're just basing stuff off physicality,
What did I say
a
that's
girl look a certain
materialistic
type of
though?
way,
What did I say that's materialistic?
a guy has his shit together. You got
That's
you.
not materialistic at all.
No, I guess you didn't use the word shit together. You're just saying have no kids. Just because
Yes,
somebody doesn't have kids doesn't make you
Mervin.
a
What's bigger
prize.
than that? What's bigger than that?
Your relationship with God, you can still be lost out here.
Mervin,
What do
but
you
see,
mean?
not
So
everybody's religious though. So then you bring in
oh,
religion. What about people that
it
are in a
has nothing
relation?
to do with religion.
Okay,
Christianity is not a religion. Christianity is not a religion.
okay, a
So
way of
anything
living.
outside of God is it has nothing to do with religion. It's a way of life.
It's a
So
way
you
of
have
life.
females out here. I know females out here that's bro 28, 30, no kids, and they've messed up in the head mentality. Why it is exactly what you're describing. A lot of what you're describing are the women that think they the prize. The reason why a woman would turn a good, humble man down is because of that stupid prize mentality. That's that
No,
podcast
bro.
bullshit, bro. Red pill, blue pill. I'm the prize. You the prize. No. How about you get to know somebody, get to know their mentality?
Yeah, but
Money is
that's what
nothing.
I'm saying
You
though.
don't
That's
have
what
to
I'm
have
saying.
money. So you think you have
So
to
I'm not
have.
saying money though, Mervin. But if you're
Okay, so
coming
you
with
think you don't have to
baggage,
be married? You don't have to.
if you don't have to, no, bro,
So what do you
bro.
call a prize?
What do I call a prize? Do you come with baggage?
No,
Not
I'm at
you,
what
not
do you call it?
you, not you.
No,
I'm
I'm not.
saying
I know you're not talking about me, but
so,
I'm saying
so,
like what? Like
so
what do you mean a bag?
a prize is somebody that's kind of more okay. So if you have no previous marriages, you didn't make some mistakes in your youth like some other people. I'm not saying that you're the most horrible person on earth, but you maybe have made some mistakes. Things happen. It's called life.
I'm you're still not defining what you call a prize because just because
A
somebody been
prize, Mervin,
divorced
is
doesn't mean nothing. What if?
somebody that's got more to offer than another. It doesn't have to be financially.
So you're telling me if a woman
Mhm.
is fucked up but she's
Mhm.
got more money than me, she's the prize?
What did I just say though? That's how I
You
know
just
you're
said
not
if
hyper
more.
focusing.
You literally just said if somebody
No,
has
no, no, no,
more
no.
than
I
me,
said
more to
it
offer than
does
me. That's what
not. Hear me out.
you
Does
just said that
not.
though.
No, I didn't. Does
What you say?
not have to be financially. Does not.
That's not what you just said. You literally
Mervin.
just say if someone has more to offer than you. That's
Yes,
literally what you just
and
said.
I said when I said more to offer, I said specifically
But what is
not
more to offer? So what are we talking about? Because
more
I
to
told you to give
offer.
me the definition. So what is more to offer? What is more to offer? It's no ta. What is more to offer? How do you
More
know if
to
somebody got more to
offer
offer?
is not having baggage. You're having more to
What?
offer. I got more of me to offer to you than shit that comes with me that I'm offering to you.
And what is it you're talking about?
So if you have no previous marriages and you
Because you're
don't have
trying to
any,
say,
oh
so
my
previous
God,
marriages
Mervin, but I
make you a
can't even
baggage.
say. You keep asking, but I can't even say it.
Wait, you're not saying nothing. But go
Well,
ahead.
Mervin, what can I say if I say three words and then you cut me off?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
If I don't have any, if you are a woman and you have no kids and you start dating me and I have four and I come knock on your door with four children, okay, and myself, who's bringing a problem to somebody? Who?
Is that a question? Because you say I keep
Yeah,
cutting you.
that's a
I'm gonna let you
question.
finish
That's a
talking.
question. Yes, yes, yes.
So you telling me so if a woman right has a previous relationship, whether that's a divorce or a marriage, and they have like three
Yes.
kids, that's a baggage because that's a problem.
Yes,
That's what you're
bro.
saying.
Yes.
How's that a baggage,
Mervin. So
Nelson?
are the kids not a baggage?
How?
That's not a bill? You got to provide for them in
Okay,
some way, shape, or
so
form.
that's what I'm saying. You're talking about a certain type of women because my wife had three kids prior to me. You know what I mean? And I'm using me because I can actually relate.
See what I'm saying? But every
How you
scenario
know? You
you
can
use
no,
for
you can't
yourself.
do that. You're making you said a statement, and I'm giving you an example because it fits my description, so I
I
can
know, but
relate.
think of
I'm
the
not just
world.
speaking of
Think of the
no,
world.
and I am. Let me finish because my dad was like that. My dad met my mom. She had 2 kids.
Okay,
That's no. There's women out here, and like I said, to each his own. Water seeks his own level. There's
sure.
women out here that, like my wife, no nigga ever met her kids. She had all her 3 kids by one nigga. No nigga ever met her kids. She's was the one of the most hardworking women ever known. Everybody is not like that. I can tell you one thing. I never like I do it because I want to. As far as of course, if we're married, I'm gonna take care of the household. But that shit is not like that, bro. Now you do have them type of women that's looking for a baby daddy, and those are normally that come with that Jezebel check mark. My dad met my mom. She had 2 kids. That wasn't a baggage. You know what I'm saying? They just, hey, this is what you got. It's not like, hey, I'm looking for a baby daddy. Come pay my bills. Come do this. Come do that. No, that's not a bag. You have some niggas that have personal issues. That's a baggage. You don't have to. Kids is just one part of it. You know what I mean? You can have people that single out here and mentality fucked up. You don't think that's a baggage?
Listen,
Having kids and being married before doesn't make you it doesn't make you disqualify you.
I mean,
That's that fucked up mentality
listen.
because nobody is
Hold
perfect
on,
out here,
hold
bro.
on. Let me say
Half
something.
of the woman out here has been is go ahead.
Let me say something. Once again, only here. Go anywhere else in the world, bro, and you
And you
say,
keep
hey,
saying
here's
only here. That's not true, bro. And this exists. Sin doesn't
bro.
only
It
exist
does
in
not.
America.
It does
Sin is
not.
everywhere in
It
the
does
world.
not.
Before there
It
was
does not.
America, nothing
No,
that's happening now is new. Sodom and Gomorrah. Shit was happening in the earth worse than this way before America was even invented. So it's not just
Mervin.
in
But see, we're
America.
going down a rabbit hole.
We're not going down a rabbit hole. You
We are
just
because
said
now
it's
you're
only
talking about
here. You
Sodom and
used a vague
Gomorrah.
because you used a vague statement. You said what
That's
you
not
just
a
said.
vague statement, bro.
You
So
said
then I.
only where. You said
But
only
then
where.
listen.
No, 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 no.
I'll
Because you
even
keep
tell
saying
you.
not every place.
I'll even tell you. Hey,
You just
Google.
said only here though, and
Because
you
Mervin,
contradicting yourself,
listen, go to India, and
bro.
bring it. Listen, bro.
So if I
Go,
go on Pornhub right now, I can type in
oh my
Indian porn.
god,
So you
bro.
can't say that's what I'm saying. Nasty shit is everywhere. It's not just America. What are you saying? India got their whores too. They got women, and not every single woman in India is married, bro. But go ahead, make your point. Because
I
there's
don't know
nothing
how
you're gonna
many
be able to
times.
make and say.
Listen to this. Listen to this. How many times have I said there's nothing in the world that's
So
100%
you
of
can't just
totality?
keep saying that and say
Oh,
only here. You're
okay,
contradicting yourself.
But
And stick
Mervin,
to one point. You're
nobody.
saying two
If
different
somebody,
things.
Mervin, if somebody's thinking in their mind that it's 100% of the, they don't have the intellect to
Okay, okay, okay.
to
But hear me out
dialogue.
though. Okay, perfect. I
Because
love that you said that. No, no,
obviously
no,
it's
no.
not going to be
No, no, no. I
100%
love
of
that you said that, right?
humanity.
I love that you say that. So I love that you just say that.
Okay.
It can't be 100%. What did you just say? It cannot be 100%, right? So
Yes.
that means you're trying to say that though, but then you're
No, I'm
gonna
not.
go back and say it's only here.
But what if?
The two
Yes.
cannot
Yes.
exist.
No.
If it's
Because what
not
I'm saying is,
100%, that means
if no
100%
no
of
no no no
American
no no
women
no no no
cannot be
no no
what you're
no no
describing.
sir, no sir. Because like I told you, if you have 100 people in a room and 3 people don't raise their hand to a question and 97 do, the 3 are insignificant, Mervin.
And you're assuming and that's your perception though, Nelson.
Well, then
Louis just
Mervin, we
came on
can
the phone.
Google it. Let's
Hold
Google it.
on. You can't Google how many people
Okay,
said that.
no,
That's
but we'll
not
do
a
this.
statement you
We'll do
can
this.
Google.
We'll
What are you
do
talking
this.
about?
We'll do this. We'll do this.
No, it's nothing you
Listen,
can
let
Google,
me
bro.
hold on. We can Google something here. You ready? Who
Bro,
initiates who initiates
that's
divorce? Mervin, you gotta listen.
no, you gotta listen. Listen what your statement is. You're contradicting yourself. You're saying you just said if somebody thinks there's a whole percent, they're not intellectual to have this conversation. Listen what you're saying. You're
Yes.
saying 90% of American women are like that. That's the dumbest statement. If
Google
you're
it.
seeking that, if you are
Google
seeking
it.
that, you're gonna
Google it.
find that.
Google it.
Not every
Google it.
man in America is having these problems with Jezebel
Google it.
spirits, Nelson, and
Google it.
whores.
Google it.
What am I Google that
Okay, I'm
100%
gonna
of
show you.
women in
I'm gonna
America
tell
are
you.
whores?
I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me what to
Who
Google. Tell me what to
okay.
Google.
Google right now. Who
I'm Googling.
initiates who initiates
That's not what we were talking
oh
about. Who
my
initiates
god,
divorce? We
bro.
were not talking about who initiates. What are we talking
I'm
about? You're
using
telling
this
me
as an
100% of the women in
analogy.
America or a certain way. Let's stick to topic. You're
Okay,
going all over the place.
go to America. I'm saying
Okay,
America, Mervin.
100% of American women are
Not
whores.
100. Once again, why do you keep using 100?
90% of American women are whores.
No,
So
no.
what are you saying then?
If you listen, you'll get it.
I'm listening. You're not saying nothing.
Go in America. Who initiates divorces and
What are we talking about?
relationships?
Divorces
Women
and
or men?
relationship. We
Just
never were
do
talking
it.
about
But
that. We
just
just
do
start.
it. Just
No,
do it.
I'm not doing that because that's not what we're talking. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do that. But
Do it.
let's stick to topic. You
Just do
just
it.
said
Listen.
that's
It's an
only in
analogy.
America. So what am
It's.
I?
Oh my God, dear Lord.
Listen to your statement, bro. 100% of everything can exist.
Mhm.
Majority of women in America is not like
So
that.
then
Now
look it.
they
So then
under.
let's look it up.
Okay, what am I looking up?
I just told you.
Just because you get divorced has nothing to do with what we're
No.
talking about. That is irrelevant. You're
Initiates
initiates
divorce.
divorce. None of the topic today was about initiating
But
divorce.
it's
We
an
were talking
analogy
about
that I'm
women.
using to show you that
Just because
nothing.
someone initiates a divorce,
Oh
Nelly,
my
doesn't
God, not
mean that has
somebody,
nothing to do with their
Merv. Not.
point. You're going over the
Oh
place,
my.
man. Come on. You're not making a
What's the
point
point?
doing
Let me
that.
ask you this. What's the point?
What were we talking about?
What's
Modern
the point? What's the
relationships.
point?
What you okay? Because you forgot your own point. Your
No,
whole
no, no,
point
no.
was
I'm
you
asking you.
approach
What's
a
the point?
woman.
What's the point?
I'm explaining. You keep repeating the same thing.
Okay,
What's the
okay.
point?
So
What's the
here
point?
we go. Let's hear it.
The whole point was the average woman in America, when you approach, they're gonna turn you down because they were looking for a
No,
certain.
that was not.
Isn't that not the point you started
No,
with? And
no.
you just let me finish. Let me finish. You
Mhm.
said the majority of women in America, when you approach them, you just come from McDonald's, they're gonna turn you down. Your
Mhm.
point was a woman
No.
wants a certain type of men, and you're saying is the women that we in America look at as high everywhere else in the country, they're a dime a dozen. Isn't that not
Yes.
what your basic point was,
No.
Nelson?
What
So
I'm
what was it?
The point is this. The point is this. We had established. We did talk about that. We established that. What I was trying to get to you to understand is who gets the shit end of the stick. You remember that? Does that ring a bell?
That came in the middle. That's not how the original conversation started. But
Okay,
go ahead.
the original conversation started by
Because we way
modern
off topic.
relationships. Modern
Modern
relationships.
relationships, right?
This
And you
all
were
intertwines with modern relationships.
correct. And the,
If you look, okay, 50 years ago versus today, relationships, marriage is a relationship between two individuals. Would you agree?
is a covenant between God, between
Is it
a
is
man and
it
woman, and between God.
okay within a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're talking about. I'm
No,
using
we're
this as
talking about modern relationship. We ain't talking about. Well, go ahead.
exact. Okay.
You
The
way off
relation.
topic, but go ahead. 'Cause you
Okay.
started like you all over the place. 1 minute you said, well, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your point.
Mervin.
Make your point, bro.
The point. That's the point. The point is, you don't believe that men get the shit under the stick. You don't believe that men.
I never said. I'm not saying like that's what I'm saying. You keep saying I'm making a bunch of different state. Listen what you're saying. 1 minute we're talking about 16-year-olds actually liking you for you. Then we're talking about if you approach a
Yeah,
woman,
this all
what they
has to
want
do
you to.
with
Then you said men have the
relationships,
shit in
though,
this. It's like
Mervin.
you're saying so much of stuff,
This is
bro.
all about relationships, though.
Okay, so
I'm
you
not
said
talking
men get the
about
shit into the
Chick-fil-A.
sticks. Of course, we never disagree. You said men get shit into the sticks. Who now normally gets? You asked me who normally gets put on, and you
Yeah.
going back to your first point, men, right?
Yes.
100% can't be 100% of everything. Not every man
No.
get the shit end of the stick, so that's
Yeah, they
not true.
don't, Mervin. But if
Well,
ninety
here,
percent
oh
of them
God,
do, but if 90% of them do, bro.
and that you're making that number up because that number do not
Okay, so
exist.
then
You can't speak
Google
for
it.
90% of the
Then
men, and you can't.
Google
How
it.
you gonna tell me to Google? Google
Okay, then
doesn't.
Google.
So
Okay.
Nelson, shit is not just happening in Google updates. That's bullshit.
Okay, so
Okay,
then what else?
and let's
Okay,
let's
so
let's
hold on,
Google
hold
it.
on,
Let's
hold on,
Google it. No, hold
hold on.
on.
No,
Let
no,
me.
no, no, no.
I'm going to
Damn,
Google it
but Mervin,
because you keep saying
I
Google
can't
it.
land one. I can't land one.
Does men? Hold on. Does men get the raw end of marriages? Since everything is on Google, you love Google. Does men get the raw? I don't know what the hell Google gonna tell me.
Okay, so
Like
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Who do we go off of to give census to people? Are we gonna go off your
married
spectrum of
men live
life?
longer, reported higher life, high. This completely goes against everything you're trying to say. But
Okay, what does it
okay.
say?
Whether men get the raw end of marriage depends heavily on my point, individual dynamics rather than gender.
And what was the question you asked Google?
Does men get the raw end of this
Okay,
marriage?
exactly. Look at the question. I asked you and specifically told you who initiates. Oh, we won't use the divorce.
Okay.
Who pays child support per per
You're saying a whole
majority?
bunch. Now you're saying a whole bunch of the one who pays child support more
Okay,
though.
well then, what dynamic can I use, Mervin, for you to
You
get?
just said who gets the raw end of the stick or the raw end of
Okay, what
marriage.
is
I
the
just think
raw
cursed
end
in
of this?
Google.
What is okay? So then we have to go specifically. I use divorces. I use child support. I
Okay,
use.
okay. So we,
So
men, the country was made rough for men, life, especially black men. So what's your point with that? What does that have to do with modern relationships?
what does that have to do with it? That it gets by generation, it gets instilled and indoctrinated in people's minds, bro. It gets indoctrinated in people's minds that they think this is when it's not, bro. Most people don't even.
And
You can
Nelson.
listen,
So
Mervin.
you don't.
Ask the
So hold on.
majority of
Can I
people
ask you
right
something?
now.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
Go, bro.
Because and everything should be simple as this, right? Do you think everybody thinks the same way?
What do you think, Mervin?
I just asked you a question.
Mervin, clearly, obviously not, bro. But
Nah,
because I
it ain't.
think that the sky, because I think that the
No,
sky
okay,
is
no. Let's
purple,
stick to topic. Let's stick to
we
topic.
are. But if
No,
I
let's stick to
think
topic.
that
Because
somebody,
hold
if
on,
I
hold
think,
on, stop, hear me out. Because you say that, but you can't use. You're contradicting yourself.
no,
You're
I'm not.
saying that you
No, I'm
just
not.
said no, right? And you're being
No
sarcastic with
to
it. But you're
what?
the same.
No to what?
I just asked you, does everyone think the same? You said
Hmm.
you're being sarcastic. Instead of just saying no, you're being sarcastic. But you're the same person with that sarcasm saying statements like, if 10 people and if three doesn't do it, then
Yes,
it's out. That's not true. Because everybody doesn't think the same. You're the same
that's
person that's using
fine.
the statements like
That's fine. But
only
if
in
that were, I'm
America.
gonna okay.
That's
If
not
I'm gonna
true.
use your
Hold
logic,
on, bro. Let me
no,
see. We
no, no,
can't
no,
keep
no. But
talking over each other. I'm
Mervin,
gonna
you
let you
said a
talk. I'm
lot.
gonna let
You
you
said a
talk.
lot. You said a lot. You said a lot. I have
Well,
barely
what
been
lie
able
did
to
I
get
say?
anything in.
What
I've been,
you've been talking the whole time?
Mervin.
You're doing exactly what you say I'm doing.
Listen,
I
I'm gonna do
literally
it like
just
this.
try to talk and
I'm
you
gonna
cut
do it
me
like
off.
this. I'm
So I'm
gonna
gonna
mute
stop
my.
talking.
Listen,
Talk.
I'm gonna mute myself.
No,
Say
no, no. Don't mute
everything
your
you're gonna
phone.
say. When you're done, let me
Talk.
know.
Okay.
Mervin.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. I said, say everything you're gonna say, and when you're done, let me know. I'm gonna mute myself.
Bro, we're not kids. You don't gotta mute yourself. Just don't talk over me. Or the same vice versa. If you want to feel like you got, because we're going all over the place with this, man. You're
That's what
saying
I'm
is
saying. So listen,
okay. You're go
listen,
ahead.
speak your piece. When you're done, let me know.
Okay, so you're saying only in America that it's like that. I'm saying that is not true. That is not true for any statement. You're not gonna say only in America that women are like that. Now, you could say statements like the message it's being pushed harder in America, which is correct. America promotes entertainment. It promotes the Jezebel spirit through entertainment. A lot of other countries are influenced by America. So you're gonna think you're gonna go to India and then divorces is not gonna exist. That's not even an intellect person to think like that. Come on now. So where you're from, like your Google said, it has less to do with the gender more than the individual dynamic. My point to you that I'm trying to make is if you're living in lust and you're looking for a certain type of individual, because you use the term bad bitches, what you probably call a bad bitch and what I call a bad bitch, we have different definitions. So you can't vaguely say 90% of them. You cannot use state. You can speak for yourself and niggas that think like that. Cool. Anybody that's looking for that certain type of woman are gonna get that. Not every woman thinks like that. And I know tons of married couples that are happy. Not doesn't mean that they don't go through problems, but that whole issue that you're saying, it is not for everybody. It doesn't speak for everybody. Not everybody's in the same entertainment industry. And if you think like that, you probably need to broaden your mindset and it's like tap into other groups. Because outside of the hip hop world, that is a smaller group. A lot of the individuals that own the labels or the Jews, they don't allow their kids to listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more than just hip hop. Not everybody thinks like that. Now, the popular message throughout society, I think you need to choose your words differently. Yeah, And we all know water seeks its own level. So if you're vibrating at a certain frequency, that is all you're gonna attract. When I was living in lust, I had some of the worst relationships ever. Literally the worst experiences, the worst relationship. Once I got my mind right, start seeking Christ, better relationship with Christ, start self-love, then I attracted my wife. Now, as far as what you're talking about with the whole baggage thing, bro, everybody has issues, everybody has problems. Literally, you being married or from a previous marriage and have kids doesn't make the other person better than the other one. That person having more money, it doesn't make, because then if you say that, you contradict what you just said. Just because that girl have more money than me, I'm a man, does that make her the prize over me? No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Or just because I have more money than her, does that make me the prize over her? If that's the case, there will be no such thing as divorce in those certain relationships. That if the one person have more money than the other, because there is situations like that. And like you're gonna say, well, you can't speak for everybody. 90% of people don't think like that. When you're gonna say, oh, if 10 people in a room and seven think like that, and the seven, no. If you're thinking about the popular message in American culture, then that's different. But not every single body in America thinks like that. That's just not accurate. In that case, there will be no married people. Use Google and Google the percentage of married people than single people. But go ahead.
Perfect one. Google it. How many people are not married and versus those who are married? Google it right now.
Bro, just make your point. Go ahead.
Mervin, what I'm trying to get at is when I say, once again, not everything is in totality, right? But are there certain, are there exceptions to the rule? For sure, right? There are exceptions to the rule. But like I said earlier, if Oprah Winfrey was in a mansion with some of her friends and we were some McDonald's employees, would they even entertain us? No. You know that. But if it were guys that are in the 1% tax bracket, right? And we saw some, some girls getting out of McDonald's and, work shirts on, whatever. Would it stop us from engaging? No. I want to know the logic behind that. Why do they deny us access, but we wouldn't deny them access? Let's start there.
So as far as why would women deny us access and we wouldn't, that's like you said, the popular message society pushes. Women making women think like men. And that topic, bro, gets deep because that with the CIA putting drugs in the black community, turning up welfare, you can't even get certain government assistance if you have a man living in the home. It gets more deeper than just the hip hop thing. It's been a whole thing to push the man outside of the household, you know what I mean? So the government can step in. Over years of doctrinating and doing that stuff, yes, women are brainwashed to think how they think. They didn't just randomly pop up in 2026 and started thinking like this. That's been like that. The whole prize, that them red pill, blue pill, kind of what created this. Why a woman wants the 1% of the 1%, even though her resume is all fucked up. It's literally that word in the prize. That shit is so made up. And that whole prize is built on the man being successful. Well, I'm a high valued man because I make over 300,000. That shit don't mean nothing. And if you're gonna put money and say money is your value and that's why you're a high prize, then that's a lost soul. Because money doesn't mean nothing. In that case, there would be no such thing as a person making over 100,000 a year being divorced if all it takes was money. You know what I mean? That's no. Money doesn't change character. It doesn't change. It just enlightens who you already are. But to answer your question, yeah, men don't care about that because we know what we bring to the table. We're providers, and I mean, and like I said, we can't speak. We say men because yeah, you do have them niggas that use women at the same time. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
Okay. Um, sure, right? You're gonna find everything on this world, bro. You're gonna find a little bit of everything in the world. The reason I bring this up though, Merv, to be real with you, is because I'm not saying by financial standard. I'm saying the opposite, right? If don't use any money, nothing at all, right? if you got somebody that's a virgin, let's use this. Let's somebody's a virgin. Are they the prize?
I don't even like the terminology, the prize, bro, because I don't even know what does that even mean. If I'm, I personally feel like get a relationship with God, and the reason I keep going back to that, I feel like that covers everything. A relationship with God comes meaning you're gonna be self-love, you're gonna have morals, you're gonna have values, and if you meet somebody that meets those morals and values, y'all go from there. You know what I'm saying? That whole you're the prize because it's just like you're going down a checklist. Well, you never been married, you never, and all that shit don't mean shit. Broken women come in all sorts of form. That girl that never been married, probably been raped by her uncle, and now she's doing the same thing to other people. She don't know how to be committed. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean nothing. Like broken come in all sorts of shape, brother. Married, ex-married, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 kids, no kids. It's to each his own. Now, like you said, everything exists. So yeah, those situations where you have the girl that's fucked up. Louis pretty much summarized everything for us, bro, when he says everything you said is right, everything I said is right. It all stems down to what you are looking for. And I can, like you said, we all been through stuff being 35. That is it. It all comes down to we both have a point. We're not wrong. You are right. In America, you're going to find majority of what you're talking about because that's where the message is pushed. You're not going to really see it too much in the third world countries because they're more grounded in value and they're not on the American bullshit. When I used to come visit America and I go back home, they used to be like, yo, don't come here with the Yankee style. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure every person from a different country have a similar saying about how we talk about Americans. So we're both right, bro, with what we're saying. Louis kind of just put it basically perfectly. It's what you're looking for. If you see, quote unquote, like you said, that bad bitch standing on the corner and you see that little girl in the Walmart closing and the girl is a Christian, the one girl that would actually treat you good, won't initiate divorce, and you go after that bad bitch that cares about your Gucci shoes and that you hopping out of a Benz, and then a year later you lost your job and you mad that she initiated divorce. Well, what the hell did you think was going to happen? You know what I mean? And it goes back to what we originally started talking about. People are dating for the wrong reasons. That whole the fact that you're even looking at her, she's a bad bitch. You want to fuck. It's all lust. It's all lust. You're not looking at her because if you really break it down and say, you know what, I actually want to marry that girl, certain things about that bad bitch will start turning you off. Yo, I don't like how much she drinks. Yo, I don't like how much, like, I don't like her character. She don't even got a relationship with God. Like, she ain't gonna be family orientated. You know what I'm saying? A certain when you start thinking a certain way, your a certain attraction is gonna the spirit's gonna take that away from you. You don't agree? Because
Okay,
I know that's
so
how it was for me. Certain girls that probably 10 years ago I probably think would bad and will be lusting for. I don't even literally nothing twitches, nothing. I don't care how fat her ass is, how much big your titties is. That shit don't
me
mean nothing.
neither, Merv. Me neither. But you
No,
know
and
what
I'm
I
not
don't
saying you,
want?
but I'm just go ahead.
You know what I don't want? I don't want to come home to just nagging all the time or bitching all the time. Or
No,
I want
nobody does.
nobody does, right?
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Nobody
And
does.
like the Bible do teach husbands how to treat their wife. It teach your wife how to treat your
Sure,
husband.
sure,
He treats you
sure.
how to go about when you disagree. So nothing is perfect.
No,
Nothing
no,
is
no, no.
perfect, bro.
Nothing is perfect, and you gotta compromise, right? You gotta compromise. Sometimes you're gonna do things you don't want to, just vice versa. It's part of life, bro.
Part of life, yeah.
It's part of life. I'm just saying to myself in the sense, I guess, I don't want or I don't see things being, I don't want it to, like I told you earlier, why'd I use these athletes as an example? I know that Draymond Green, for example, his girlfriend, his side, whatever, isn't going to wake up and be like, oh my God, my husband is a hunk. He's gorgeous. Because he's not, bro. They're not. Like, it's the money. That's why I'm using the
But but
example.
but but Nelson,
Okay.
also too, man. How do you
Mhm.
know that though?
Bro, because it's common sense.
Because listen.
Somebody doesn't verbally have to tell me something. If somebody flicks you off
But
with
we
a middle,
can't.
hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. If somebody flicks you off with the middle finger, they didn't say verbally anything to you, but did you get the message?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but
Okay.
we're talking about attraction. Beauty's in the
Okay,
eyes of the
okay,
beholder.
okay,
We're
perfect.
not women, so we can never.
We're
You know what I'm
not, we're
saying?
not, but
But hear
but
me,
it
cause
is
no,
what it
no,
is.
hear me out, hear
Like,
me out. Growing up,
Merv,
I didn't see someone where we used to be clowning niggas. Oh, that nigga, da da da. Women, bro. are not really attracted to looks that as we would think. You don't have to have the long wavy hair or whatever a nigga would call handsome. And which a nigga shouldn't even be judging another nigga anyways. But it's just like sometimes, bro, what we would think would be the ugliest nigga
Mhm.
is just our insecurity. And we see them with the finest girls because they feel secure with them. Women care more about security than looks. You do know that, right?
Okay,
Like
but
women,
that
especially in these
security. Hold on, hold
times.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. But that security, you don't think it can be financial?
It can be, but the majority, it's literally feeling protected and feeling like why you think you have so much scamming niggas? Half of these young niggas that's quote unquote fucking up these bad bitches' head that you're talking about, them niggas is broke. Literally, these YNs don't be having no real bread. You know what I'm saying? And then like the girl would go use a square ass nigga that do have the bread and still giving it to the YN. So it's literally about who, and every woman definition, let me put that out there, of security is different. Some woman likes that husband that works an honest job, comes home, she don't gotta worry about him going out there fucking a bunch of bitches. That's her sense of security. Some women literally want that nigga that's toting that Glock. You know what I'm saying? They want to feel protected, like they have a whatever their definition of a real nigga is, a street nigga. Everybody definition of security. Some
Okay,
woman's
but
sense of
Mervin,
security is
that and that's
financial.
and
That
listen,
is
and
true.
hear me out, hear me out. And that's what I'm not trying to promote. Because I'm gonna put it to you like this. I don't want to I don't want to glorify or put the worm in people's head that everything is everybody's own perception. Because if it's like that, why do we fail a test in school? Like, oh, to me, it's B. Like, if you think it's C, that's you. But to me, it's B. Who are you to tell me? Everybody's perception is different. You think it's C, but I think it's B. There's got to be some consensus, some standard, some substance to things, bro. Promoting that everything is in the eyes of however they see it, it's a false
Like,
you're not doing any justice or any benefit to the person, them thinking or even being on board with, well, however you think of or perceive it, that's fine. That's just love
hold on,
isn't
that's what
hold
you
on,
thought
hold
I
on, hold
said.
on, hold on. Love is intolerance. You know how you were like, oh, my definition of this is different than, I'm using definitions by what they are in the dictionary. I'm not going to use my own definition of, for example, right? A car, right? Oh, you're saying it's a car. To me, it's a vehicle, right? It's the same thing. It's just it's easy to play a word game or linguistics to be like, oh, well, to you that's a car. To me, it's not. To me, I look at it as an automobile. It's an automobile to me. To you, you see it as a car. You can't
Hold
tell
on.
people because okay.
No, go ahead, go ahead. No,
No,
I'm
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 just
just
saying, like,
I'm not I'm trying to follow. Like where does this point come from when you saying like
because earlier, did you not just say it's to everybody's own perception?
as far as what?
What are we talking about? What
That's
are
what
we
I'm
just
saying.
talking
Because
about?
I
I
don't
didn't change
remember
the
saying.
subject.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you're making a point off something I said, like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah. Well,
remember using that
so what did you
context
say?
as
What
far
did you
as
say? What did you say? That you
I
used.
mean, I
That
said a
you
lot.
used. That you used. That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? You even said it yourself. I said a lot. So it's
Yeah, I
harder to
did
go
say a
back.
lot. That's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
remember
So it's
saying
hard to
that
go
because I would
back.
be. No, it's
Okay.
not hard. I can tell you everything I say. If you're talking about when I said if you choose to go
No,
after, is
no,
that
no,
what you're
no, no,
talking
no, no.
about?
I said I'm using. Listen directly, specifically. I'm saying this when you said to each his own. To each his own.
But I
And
wasn't just using that as a broad statement. I probably was giving you something and then I say to each his own, which was to back up what I was saying at that point. So you're just picking that point
so I'm
because
I'm gonna pick
I
that
didn't just
point
start off
because
saying to each
whatever the
his
case
own.
may be, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be,
So to each
it's
his own could
bad.
mean if
It's
you're going to
bad.
the, go ahead.
Mhm.
It's
It,
bad what?
it's bad. Uh, uh, uh. What's it called? Like Oh my gosh. Um. Like what is it when you're giving somebody like a what's it called? Like when you're trying to give them like wisdom. Like a wise choice for them to make a wise choice or whatever.
Okay. So if you're thinking I was trying to say like everybody's reality is to each his own, no, that's absolutely not
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
A whore is a whore. Well, I don't care how
For
you dress it
sure,
up. A
for
whore is a
sure.
whore. Let me break it down so there's no confusion.
Uh,
If you choose to go after that whore, be prepared to accept what comes with it. That's what I'm
for
saying.
sure, for
And that if
sure.
you choose to overlook the good girl, that's on you. That's basically what it ain't no, oh, you dating a whore and she's a good wife because that's
Okay,
your
so I'll tell you
perception.
like this.
No.
I'm gonna use I have my wife particularly, right? She's beautiful. But if I were to say, I'm gonna give you an example, right? If I were to say, hey, who's the governor of, they wouldn't know. If I were to say, hey, what is the, you know, what was the last president we had? They don't know. And to me, I was like, okay, we have different, like world views. Like, I feel like you should know these things. It might not be significant to that person, but what's more significant, right? Like, who's ruling the land you live on, or the latest shoes that came on social media?
Yeah, I'm following. I'm trying to
You see
follow.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying? Like if
Mhm.
if I were to go and ask my sister right now and be like, "Hey, what's pie?" She wouldn't know, bro. She'd be like, "What, apple? Like apple pie, pumpkin pie?" She wouldn't think, 3.14. And when it's like that, to me, it's almost a turn off, because like, what do you really like? I can't even have an intellectual conversation with you. Like, if you just, if to a lot of people, Mervin, to a lot, reality is the telephone, their Instagram, the likes. It gives them self satisfaction. They put a picture and they get 1,000 likes. They're like, oh my God, it's satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah. Sheesh, we about to hit like 2 hours. So we're gonna wrap this up though, Nelly. We're gonna continue tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. See, bro, we can indulge. Like, this is content for hours. Like, it's a rabbit hole of information. It really
Yeah.
is. I mean, you know, um, but that's a conclusion that I've come to. Like, me getting older, I feel like intellect is more sexy to me than appeal, right? Because the majority, like I
Mhm.
said, if you were to ask any, the quote unquote bad bitches, right? Um, what you know what what is, name the states that are around your state. Let's say you live in Tennessee. Like, they don't know. Where is, you get the world map and say, hey, where is Kenya? They wouldn't know. And it's like, man, if you don't know, like, what do you know?
Yeah.
Like, do you just know what's on Instagram and what's on your feed on TikTok? Like, that's not reality. That's virtual reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should know the basics. Like, what year you're in, what president is presidenting your country. What democracy do you live under? Are you a socialist country? Are you a capitalist country? Like, these are essential things. If you don't know these things,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. But
these are essentials, bro.
okay, yeah. But it's
You know what I'm
getting
saying?
up. So we're gonna close it up though. We're gonna pick
Okay.
up tomorrow.
It's all good, Merv. Y'all have a good night, everybody
Yeah, you too,
online.
man. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, and thanks for your opinions and your
Yeah, same here,
perspective,
but
and
thanks for yours.
I appreciate that. It's a good conversation. I feed off of your knowledge. I hope you can off of mine
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
it's the same.
And
Yeah, I'm looking.
we'll see each other tomorrow, brother.
I got you, brother.
All right,
One love.
one love.